Wherever God is recognized, there is a cult, and where there is a cult, the natural order of moral duty is violated, and morality falls. When men disrespect a woman, it almost always shows that she was the first to forget her treatment of them. Religion prevents people from seeing because, under pain of eternal punishment, it forbids them to see. Education gives dignity to a person, and the slave begins to realize that he was not born for slavery. In order to be happy, you need to have a good stomach, an evil heart and no conscience at all. To try to leave behind us more knowledge and happiness than we had before, to improve and increase the inheritance we have received, this is what we should work on. We seek the love of others in order to have an extra reason to love ourselves. If you want to write about a woman, dip your pen in a rainbow and dust off a butterfly's wings. Always remember that nature is not God, man is not a machine, a hypothesis is not a fact. An intelligent person sees before him an immeasurable realm of the possible, while a fool considers only what is possible to be possible. Women hate each other and, however, every single one, protect each other. If you are afraid of death, you will not do anything good. If you still die because of some pebble in the bladder, from an attack of gout, or for another equally ridiculous reason, then it is better to die for some great cause. In vain does a coward beat his chest with his fist to gain courage, it must first be possessed and only strengthened in communion with those who possess it. Telling the truth to some people is like shining a beam of light into an owl's nest. The light will only spoil the eyes of the owls, and they will raise a cry. If people were ignorant only because they did not learn anything, then perhaps they could still be enlightened, but no, there is a system in their blindness. One can reason with a person who errs involuntarily, but from what side should one be attacked who stands guard against common sense? Philosophers say a lot of bad things about clerics, clerics say a lot of bad things about philosophers, but philosophers have never killed ecclesiastics, and the clergy have killed many philosophers. Nature is like a woman who loves to dress up and who, showing from under her dresses now one part of her body, then another, gives her persistent admirers some hope of knowing her all someday. If you hear that a woman is slandering about love, or that a writer speaks disparagingly of the public, then know that the charms of the first began to fade, and the talent of the second began to fade. Jealousy is the passion of a poor, stingy animal, afraid of loss. It is a feeling unworthy of man, the fruit of our rotten morals and the right of property extended to a feeling, thinking, willing, free being. People would live quite quietly in this world if they were quite sure that they had nothing to fear in another. The thought that there is no God has not yet frightened anyone, but how many have been horrified by the thought that there is such a God as they portray to me? To say that a person consists of strength and weakness, of understanding and blindness, of insignificance and greatness, is not to condemn him, but to define his essence. Parents love their children with an anxious and condescending love that spoils them. There is another love, attentive and calm, which makes them honest. And this is the true love of a father. Views acquired from childhood prevent a Mohammedan from being baptized, views learned from childhood prevent a Christian from performing the rite of circumcision. The mind of a mature man despises both baptism and circumcision alike. The art is to find the extraordinary in the ordinary and the ordinary in the extraordinary. Passions are endlessly condemned, all human misfortunes are attributed to them, and at the same time they forget that they are also the source of all our joys. If a lie can be useful for a short time, then in the course of time it will inevitably turn out to be harmful. On the contrary, in the course of time the truth turns out to be useful, although it may now turn out to be harmful. Only passions and only great passions can elevate the soul to great deeds. Without them, the end of everything sublime, both in moral life and in creativity. Where, if not in marriage, can one observe examples of pure affection, true love, deep trust, constant support, mutual satisfaction, shared sadness, understood sighs, shed tears together? Physicians work incessantly to preserve our health, and cooks to destroy it. However, the latter are more confident of success.